Okay, guys, I'm hoping that you guys can hear me all right. I went outside today because inside is not the best place to. I haven't been outside in a while. It's actually kind of nice. My yard's not, but outside is. Well, yard's not bad. It's just not what everybody else would want. So today I promised somebody I would make a video about how I making a rug. And I've got a bunch of things here to show you and how to do it. First, I'm going to show you what I'm making, and then we'll go from there. For those who don't know, because there are some that do, but this is what I am making right now. And bring it a little closer. You can see it's just a braided cord rug. And the way you make these is really simple. Um, and it blows my mind because you can go on Amazon and I looked for something similar and just something that's not even like that. It's very similar, but probably not the same. Coiled is $100 rug, and that's a lot of money. Well, I'm in a wheelchair. Most people that know me know this now. People that don't know me are learning this now, but I can't walk anymore. And when you end up in a wheelchair, a very real reality is adult diapers and commodes, um and emptying those things has been really hard in a wheelchair to be done. So I invented a way to handle it, and that was these are supplies that you recognize. This is a blue pad, and this is an adult diaper. And I started lining the buckets with the blue pads, and you can take apart the diaper like so, and you can tear these little elastic ends off so that it's more of a pad, like so. And then you end up with just a flat pad that I can cut in half and line a bedpan with, or I can just cut it in half and line the bottom of my commode with. And I use the blue pads to put into the bucket, and that's how they're used. Well, until I use them, I take them and I roll them into a bathroom roll. And I like this pad in the middle, and I put these in a drawer right next to my commode, right next to my bed. Easy access for that moment. Embarrassing? Yes, maybe. An idea that might help somebody else that's in my shoes, very much so. And this is a little messier than usual. They end up more nicer looking, and then I tuck these away. Why do I do that? Well, because as I said, moving one of those things is impossible to do, to empty in a wheelchair, and disgusting when you spill it on yourself. But the absorbent pads of the diapers soak it all up, and it's the same. And I have them. I have them because I need them to go out because a lot of bathrooms are not as handicap accessible. So, but this leaves me with this, and this is a very pliable elastic waistband that I learned the hard way because one of these things ended up in my laundry. They go through the laundry and they don't disintegrate. And I was throwing these away at least 20 a week when I make my bed rolls, and I was feeling really crappy about that. What can I do with these? What can I do with these? Well, I can't save every part because this end is kind of useless. This is the underwear end, and this is what you tear off the bottom. So you cut this off, and you end up with this perfect little synthetic fiber. And I was like, what in the world? And then I saw the rag rug. I remember the rag rugs. You see them everywhere. And all you do is you cut this into strips. Well, now I realize not everybody is having my plight with adult diapers. So I'm going to finish this strip and then I'll save these. I'm going to save the rest to cut, but I have this. Now I have a little bag of pre-cut strips that I've been using to make my rugs. So I'm going to fish out 2 more that I like. I'm going to put this in the bag to be cut later. The stuff I can toss to the side. And now these things are doubled. You realize they're waistbands. So you can take these and you fold the end a little bit and just snip a little slit in each side to where you have like a buttonhole on each end. I actually scratch that first. You don't want to do it on each end first. You don't, I just messed that up, but it will end up being on each end, but you're going to end up opening this and making it open. So you only need to do it on one end. So in the middle, it's not necessary. Right here, while it's folded in half, you only need to do it on one end. And these, it's just the universal cut of how you're going to do it. It's just how you're going to do it. You're going to always have a top and a bottom with a slit in it. And if I can get them to separate. So now I have these 3 strips. And I'm going to just kind of take a needle and thread. And around here I have a sewing kit that I have all this in. I really do. It's right here. So I'm just going to get a needle. Well, you don't even have to do that much to start, to be honest with you. But you can get a needle and sew it together. Or you can get, I'm going to get a little bit quicker about this. And I'm just going to get a safety pin. And you can safety pin this together. And you can stick this on your pant leg, or you can stick this on a pillow or the arm of your chair. You can stick this on the back of a chair. You can stick this in so many places, but you just kind of pin it down. I'm going to pin it to my pant leg just off screen, but you braid it. It's just a braid, 3-part braid, one over the other, one over the other. And that's all it is. It's just a braid. After you get to the end of the braids, you're going to run out. And that's obviously not going to be long enough to make a rug. So I'm going to show you what you do with these slits. You'll have one hanging down like this, and you'll have a brand new one that'll come up like this. So you feed your new one, you open up the end of your new one, and you feed your old one through your new one. And then you just kind of stop that right above the hole on the old one. And then you open up the other end, and you just bunch it all up and pull it through to the new one. Make sure you got the right end on it. I've got it all. It's my braid. I'm going to take the braid apart to show you how to connect it. So again, we'll just pretend this is the end of the old one coming down, and this is the new one. So you open the old one up. No, you open the new one up. You pull the old one through enough to where the new one is above the hole on the old one. So it'll look like this. There's the old one hanging down and the new one with it going through. Now you open your old, the one with the, it's hanging down up, and you push all the end of the new one through it. So you'll have one going through the old one and one going through the new one. and you just pull it tight like that. And then you continue to braid, and while you're braiding, you'll come along to knots and stuff, and you don't have to worry about those knots. You can just leave those knots as they are. And because this is the kind of material it is, it's stretchy and all that, but oh, my needle and my thread. We're going to move on pretty quick to what we do with our cord. Now, I only make maybe 20 foot of cord at a time, and I get little clips and I hold it off. You can tie it in a loose knot, whatever you want. You can see my little ends there are ready for me to attach more little ends to when I'm ready to braid more cord. So this helps because if you do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet of this, it's just going to end up a knotted mess. But this you can work with a little at a time, and you don't have to do like multiple cords like I do. You can do one or two at a time and call it good. And then you just kind of take your end that you braid, and I'm just going to show you how you start it. Just kind of simply like this, and you sew it together in the middle. You can fold it in half even, and a loop stitch in between, and you'll open it up and it'll be stuck together like that. And then you work the coil around and around, and eventually, and you loop stitch as you go. And I'm going to demonstrate a loop stitch further on with a bit of my cord here and the edge of my rug. I used multiple colors. I have Temu sewing kit that came with 12 different colors. You can go online to Amazon and get groups of thread that 36 colors for $10. Just spools of thread, plenty of them. But what you do now is you take your cord and you just kind of coil it around itself. And while you're coiling, and I doubled the thread, you just a simple loop stitch. And a loop stitch is once in one side, it's over, around, and through. Nothing's too hard about it, just a coil, and you just keep moving over. Make sure all your thread goes that way, around, pull it through. And you're going to naturally have weak spots. Like around here, I was a little bit loose in my thread, and you can fix that as you go. Instead of going under through the other cord just below it, I'm going to loop a cord down lower and make sure I catch all three in the same loop, and it'll bind all three together in a row. But what you're doing, in a sense, is you're always binding one cord to the other one all the way around. And the bottom of one cord is bound to the top of the bottom cord, the cord below it, and the top of the same cord is bound to the bottom of the cord above it. As you go, it just naturally spirals, and this is what you get. It's the knots are where you see some of the stuff sticking out at. Some of the texture that comes in it is just the knots. As you're spiraling, like I have this little piece sticking out, I can cut this off. Now, you do this with cloth. I did this with something that I'm throwing away and feel kind of sick about throwing in the garbage. But you can do this with an old shirt. I have an old shirt here that's all tore up, and you just simply cut across the shirt, inches across the shirt to get it. You can go, and this is one of my old shirts from before I started losing weight. You can go to your local thrift stores, or you can go to free clothing things, or you can even just save old towels and stuff. Now, denim and terry cloth are a little thicker to work with. Terry cloth might work a little better for braiding, but I'm not so. I know they have different tricks for denim, but there are different designs you can do, and you can make looms and make different shapes. The beauty of these is you don't have to throw away old clothes, so you just kind of keep them, and then when you have enough, you bind it together, and that's pretty much how you make a rag rug.